What is up, guys? It's Brillymister here and welcome to today's video. If you do enjoy the video, then don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe, and hit all the links up down below to Twitch and Discord. Enjoy the video. What is up, everybody, and welcome to my loot from 10 hours of Elite Dungeon 1. Really hope you do enjoy this video. It is one that I really did enjoy making, but I would like to give a little disclaimer before we get into the video, as I am not the world's best PVMer, so this is the results that I got from my 10 hours of testing. Your mileage may vary. Some people will go a lot quicker than I am, and some people may be slower or unable to solo it altogether. This is just what I got in the 10 hours that I did. Anyway, guys, I really hope you do enjoy the video, and let's get straight into the loot. So I have just finished my 10 hours of Elite Dungeons 1. It was pretty good, actually. I was pretty new to soloing it at the beginning. I think I only had like 5 solo kills before I started. I got like 25, 26, something like that now. I'll work it all out for the breakdown page in a second. So I got in my inventory all of the loot that I got from the 10 hours now from the chest. So we've got a lot here of sort of not direct value or won't price check sort of stuff. But these ones are easy, that's 5 mil, and I will work out the exact value of them again for the breakdown page, but you got some nice relics there. We also got 5 of the Tajitu, which we'll add, and we can spend them on the Ark, along with some chimes, which I can also put in there, and I got some more of them to spend on the Ark as well. And then I have got some of these Menophyte gift offerings, which we'll open for some lovely junk. Okay, we'll drop that, and we'll pop this one open. Oh, 2 ruby rings and 31k, nice, and we'll pop that one open. 70k, a potato cactus, and a pot of cream. Okay, so I guess I can include all that into the price check as well. So we'll open up the price checker now. I imagine that a vast majority of this money is just in the ancient scales. This is such good, consistent money, even though I was only doing it relatively slowly compared to, I mean, some people can do it a lot quicker than I can. So we've got 239 mil there, which is not bad for 10 hours. Plus, once you add all those relics in as well, that's going to be another, probably about 10 mil in total there, which is going to be awesome. But yeah, you can see 935k per scale, and the fact that you're guaranteed a minimum of 4, but I think I only got 4 once. Most of the time I got 7, 8, 10. There was only one time where I got really lucky, I got 66 on one run, but all the other times were just like 7, 8s, 10s, 15s, that sort of amount. There weren't any massive ones, so I wouldn't say I got overly lucky. I would say it probably was about average for 20 runs there. I got, you know, average just over 10 scales a run, which is not too bad. Then also there's 22 mil from the Onyx Dust Sticks. Onyxes have gone through the roof, obviously, with the Raksha release, and they're like 35k per dust now, so it's like 3.6 mil nearly per Onyx now, which is absolutely awesome. So ED2 as well is probably pretty decent money just in Onyx Dust at the moment, but nothing compared to ED1. If you were better at this, you can do 3 runs in an hour. I was only getting 2 runs an hour in, which, you know, that's fine with me. I was free cycling pretty consistently, and I get the occasional 2 cycle on Seru, but most of the time it was a free cycle. But if you can do a 3rd run in the hour, if you're very, very good, or like a high-end PVMer, or just better than me, basically, then, you know, your money's going to increase by, well, another 1/3 on top of this. So you're going to get about another 100 mil, which is absolutely awesome. So anyway, I'm going to go sell this off now, and then we'll get into the breakdown slides and onto the comparisons with other bosses. So moving now on to the breakdown here. So over the 10 hours, I averaged out at 2 kills per hour. This was pretty consistent. They were taking about 30 minutes per run. I know it can be done a lot quicker, but that's just the speed that I was going at. But it still worked out very, very well for me. In that time, I got a total loot of 248.78 mil. I've used the chest value for the breakdown here, rather than the price check value, as it has the value of all the artifacts and everything in there as well. It averaged out at 24.78 mil per hour in just pure loot, which then when you divide that down by 20 works out at 12.44 mil per run, which is absolutely awesome for basically a half-hour run. That you're making, you know, an average of 12 mil. Although a vast majority of this loot does come from the scales drop from Seru, the rest of the drops throughout the dungeon are pretty underwhelming. I also didn't get lucky at all in the 10 hours and get a fishy treat or a Masuda War Spear, but that would have been a nice little extra chunk in there. But as a general rule, most of your money is going to come from the scales, which is good because that means it is pretty consistent money, because you're not like relying on RNG like you are at the other Elite dungeons for getting sort of either a codex or a piece of the Eldritch crossbow. My costs I put down at 3.5 mil per hour. I did it fairly cheaply, but not too cheaply. Like, I was using a Vampirism Scrimshaw for the entire time, which on its own is like 1.5 mil per hour in costs. Then you got all like your masterwork costs and cost of weapons, and I put a little bit extra in there to include some Onyx costs for the few deaths that I will admit I did incur along the way, more towards the start of when I was learning it still a bit more, rather than at the end when I got the hang of it a little bit more, although there were still a few sketchy moments and bits where I messed up along the way. So once I've taken all these costs out here, that makes my profit work out at 213.78 mil over the 10 hours, which is absolutely awesome, and that works out at 21.78 mil per hour, which is really amazing considering I was not doing this as fast as you possibly can. Like, people can go quicker than this. And to be just getting consistent money of 20+ mil an hour, which doesn't rely on any real RNG and, you know, will average out decently over time, is absolutely awesome. This is, however, helped by the fact that scales are pretty pricey at the moment. They're like 950k each, which is pretty mental, but they have been consistently over 800k for a long time now, so it's going to be a consistent moneymaker for a while. But yeah, it's definitely worthwhile doing. So anyway, we're going to go on to the next slide and we're going to compare it with the other elite dungeons. So I decided in this video to do the comparison versus the other elite dungeons, rather than the whole lot of the things that I've done from the loot from 10 hours of. If you want to check out what the other ones compare and how they compare, I'll leave a link in the description to my loot from 10 hours of Greg, which has the comparison to every other boss that I've done 10 hours of, so you can compare it for yourself on there. So I got the second most runs of ED1, only beaten by ED3, but I was at the time a bit of a noob and was doing ED3 mostly in duo and trio, and it was my first sort of venture into sort of higher level PVM, which is why the profit and everything there is pretty awful, because I was doing it in trio and the standard loot just did not add up. Another important thing to mention is from ED3 and ED2, I got no codices from ED2, and I got no Eldritch pieces from ED3, as you can tell from the terrible loot values you got there. So when it's compared to just getting standard loot, ED1 is clearly miles ahead. The other two would have been a lot more competitive if I had got either an Eldritch piece or a codex from ED2. ED2 was solo. It took me a little bit longer for the runs when I did this. I think I would be a little bit quicker now, maybe be able to sneak an extra couple of runs in, but I think I'm still probably realistically over half an hour a run. I don't think I could get 2 runs an hour, but I could get closer to the 2 runs per hour. So this might push the total loot up a little bit, but not a massive amount, like I said again, unless you get a codex. That's where most of the money in ED2 lives. The loot per run as well, the difference in that is crazy. It's like an extra 8 mil compared to ED2 and an extra 10 mil per run over ED3, which is pretty ridiculous when you think about it. ED3 again, I might redo that one fairly soon, as I would like to do it solo, as it is the outlier in this that I did do it in a group, and it'd be interesting to see how I do solo. And I mean, that one could end up being absolutely massive if you luck out and get an Eldritch piece, which would be pretty awesome. So I hope you do enjoy the comparison here, and you can see how it compares to my personal results from what I've got from a loot from 10 hours and other ones. I know realistically ED3 and ED2 are a lot closer than they are reflected in this video, but this is, like I said, my personal experiences and what I got in the loot from 10 hours that I had done. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy the video. I really enjoy making the loot from 10 hour videos. They're one of my favourite ones to make, and I actually find it really interesting to see how it all compares to other bosses and things in the game. If you did enjoy the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button to like the video. And as always, there are links in the description to my Twitch and to my Discord server. Until next time guys, see ya.